Welcome to another Demarcation Media LEGO review. Today, I'm going to be looking at a Kingdoms set. I'm really excited for this because I love the Kingdoms line. When it first came out, I unfortunately only got one set. But for those of you who have already seen it, I got a massive lot of Kingdoms sets, like over $1,000 worth. I did not pay $1,000, only paid like $600, which is a fantastic deal. And I'm going to be going through them one by one and reviewing them, starting with the smallest set. That is the Knights Showdown. So we're going to go ahead and look at the instructions because I don't have the box, and then we'll go and look at everything like normal. But basically the instructions are going to be taking the place of the box in all of these videos. One of the things that I really loved about the Kingdoms line was all of their art. And just look at that. This is beautiful. With the sun coming up over all the white cliffs, the grass, the like stone on the sides. Just the way they did all of this really kind of set the scene perfectly for playing whatever the scenario is for each set. Barely any of the LEGO lines ever have had art as good as on Kingdoms. It's just fantastic. What we can see here, we have the knights battling over a chasm, I guess. It looks like this guy is probably going to lose because he doesn't have a catapult. I'm not sure what he's planning on doing running to the edge of the chasm like that. One oddity to note is that there are three ammo like rock pieces shown here, whereas the set only gives you two. So that's kind of weird. But inside, all the pages have the kind of brick wall texture, which is pretty cool. And then if we go all the way to the back, we get to see some ads for the other sets, which I will be taking a look at this one and at this one. Looks like, yeah, I've already taken a look at this one. This was one of my first reviews way back on the channel. And then I don't have that one, so we're not going to be looking at that one. And yeah, this one's so small we don't get any more art, but that front, oh, that's so nice. I just can't get enough of that. That's whoever was in charge of designing the boxes and instructions, they are a genius. So here is the set itself. And typically I would take a look at each figure and then we would take a look at the builds. But since this is kind of a evenly divided down the middle conflict, I actually want to take a look at each side separately. So we're going to start with the Dragon Knight side and we're going to look at the build and the figure all at once. And then we'll move on to the Lion Knight. So for those of you who don't know, the Kingdoms line was the conflict between the good Lion Knights and the evil, greedy Dragon Knights. The Dragon Knights were kind of invading the Lion Kingdom and stealing their gold and just generally causing trouble and attacking the citizens of the land. So the whole line was the battle between the red and white lions and the green and gold dragons. So for this set, we have one Dragon Knight, and he has this really cool torso with all these chains and stuff on it. It goes down to the legs. He's got some chainmail. He has the gold highlights. Oops, or it's more of bronze, actually, more like bronze highlights. Chains go around to the back. He has the really cool like bucket style helmet with the green plume, and he wields a large axe. Underneath, we have this face that was originally for the Agents line, I believe. I don't remember what agent it was, but he was originally a good guy. But it shows up a lot in these Kingdom sets for the bad guys. So I guess the dude stopped working for Agents and decided to clone himself and join the Dragons. The build for the Dragon Knight is this little like tournament style pedestal with the gold flag. And then he has his optional sword. So he could go double-handed like that if he wanted to be a little unfair, which honestly, he's a Dragon Knight, so I don't think he cares much about being unfair. So that's pretty cool. Obviously, it's a little confusing as to why there's a tournament style stand in the middle of this whatever big field with the cliffs that they're fighting in, but it's cool. So I'm willing to overlook how it got there, and it gives him the extra weapon. So that's very nice for not being the main like faction of this set. I think that's pretty respectable. And now onto the good side. This is the Lion Knight and his catapult. This Lion Knight is interesting because he's a fusion of the more heavily armored Lion Knights and the normal Lion Soldiers. He has the Lion Soldier's torso, but he has the full face, helmet, and plume of a knight, which I think is pretty cool. He's got a sword. These swords are kind of funny because they don't really look like they could hurt anyone. They're so round, like you stab them and it's just like, oh, stop poking me. But they're very classic, so I think it's cool to get some more of those. Some nice print around the back. These helmets are in this nice shiny. Pretty much all the Lion guys get really nice shiny helmets. And then this face is one that you might recognize. This comes in a lot of LEGO City sets. It's a pretty standard face, but I think it fits pretty well. And honestly, I like the fact that we saw like city faces and whatnot in the castle line. It just made it, I don't know, it made it less specific, I guess. It was like city but medieval. I don't know, that doesn't really make sense, but hopefully you get what I mean. No print for the legs, but it's not really necessary. And then his build is this catapult, which is still pretty small, but is not quite as small as this little stand here. There is a shield on one side. You can mount it on either side because there's a little peg hole. Or, and to be honest, this is probably the best option. Pop it off and let the knight wield it. That way he has something to guard against the attacks of the dragon's large axe. Catapult itself can roll. It doesn't roll very well on smooth surfaces, but it can roll along. Looks pretty nice. They use the tan pegs so it doesn't stand out too badly. I think the general design of this for being so small and simple is very nice. And then, let's see, can we launch? Will it work? Can we launch this? Yes, indeed. It actually works pretty well. And you can store the ammo back here like that. You could even probably stick some more if you wanted to pull some from your own collection. Yeah, I think this is nice. It's a nice little space filler in scenes, and it's just fun to, launch the little rocks. The downside, I think, is the fact that it's made of all brown, and this era, brown, and even to this day, brown kind of has a bad habit of breaking. So just like cracking and snapping and just generally being brittle. And for some reason, LEGO has not fully fixed that issue. So with these old sets, you got to be like really careful when you're building and even when you're taking them apart, because you never know what might break one of the brown pieces. So that's really the only like actual flaw that I can find with this set, other than the fact that the instructions showed 3 of these rocks and we only get 2. But yeah, overall, I think it's just a cute little build. And it's, like I said, it's just fun to launch the little rocks at your enemy. Well, there you have it. That is the Knights Showdown. Originally, when this set was in stores, I think this was a $10 set, maybe a little less. No, I think it was 10. And honestly, I think that's a great price. You get all you need for a perfect little medieval battle, all in one box: a catapult, some flags, a shield, the 2 knights. Like, it's just, as a younger kid, seeing this set on the shelves, I thought this was the coolest thing because you get the good guy and the bad guy and all the stuff. And even now, I think it's pretty much a perfect little set. Only thing I could ask for more, maybe some bushes or something, but that's honestly going a little far for a $10 set. Nowadays, getting this set is going to set you back a lot more than $10. It is a Kingdom set, and Kingdom sets are very rare, very expensive, and very sought after. So this could be anywhere from $20 to $50, depending on who you want to buy it from. I'm sure there's those psychos out there that are listing it for $100 or more, sealed or whatever. That's absolutely insane. This is not a $100 set. This was a $10 set, and it looks like a $10 set. The amount of stuff you get in it is $10 worth. So I think if you want to add this to your collection, and see, the problem is you got to be a really big fan of the Lego Castle to even bother with trying to search this out, because like I said, they're just so rare and sought after. So if you're a fan of Lego Castle, then I would pay maybe 20 for it. Maybe 20. Like as high as 20. I think to me that's probably the best you'll get. Anything more than that, I would pass. Like as cool as this set is, it is not worth anything more than 20, Kingdom set or not. It is a $10 set. At the end of the day, it's a $10 set. And all the rarity in the world is not going to make this necessarily worth anything more than $20. Even 20, like I said, that's pushing it, but it is a Kingdom set. So if you can find this for anything between 10 and 20, or even less than 10 if you're super lucky, I would say go for it if you're a fan of Lego Castle. If you're not a fan of Lego Castle, then this is not worth your time. Probably go look for something a little easier. Just go to the Lego aisle in Walmart and get something that catches your eye instead of trying to hunt this down. I hate saying that, but it's rare and expensive, and as such, you have to really want it. If you don't really want it, you should look elsewhere. That's kind of the bottom line for this set. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time.